In this video, we're going to continue our discussion about the 7-day video launch formula. I'm going to talk about proven, legal, and safe ways to boost your YouTube video views. And your goals is really to get YouTube's attention in the first 7 days after launching your video on YouTube. You want to get 50 to 100 or more views in the first 7 days. Again, it's a critical window, and we already talked about the first 24 hours, which again is another critical window, especially when launching your video on YouTube. And I want to show you safe tactics to increase your views. These are tactics that won't get your account banned, won't get your videos deleted, and we really want to fall within the parameters to make sure that our videos are going to last and have staying power for months and months to come. And that's what we're going to discuss in this video. So here we are in day 2 to 5 of the 7-day video launch formula, and I'm going to talk to you today here about retention views, about getting views. I already mentioned in the previous video, in the first 24 hours you want to get 10 to 12 views. How do you get views? There's a lot of different sources out there, so let's talk about how to boost your views safely and without getting into trouble. And as you see here, I recommend you get 50 to 100 views to start within the first 7 days. Sometimes you'll need more views depending on the competitive nature of the niche, how many other videos are in the niche, and you'll get a sense for this as you start doing more videos. You really get sort of a sixth sense on how many views you need, how competitive the niche is, and how you have to kind of throttle it up or down depending on those factors. And I want to talk about various ways to get views in this video. The first way is actually from a site called Virool.com, and that's Virool.com. Now, Virool has gotten a bad rap by some people, and I'll explain that to you. In the YouTube community, there's been a lot of controversy around Virool. I mean, some of the video purists complain that Virool is selling fake views, and yet they've been doing this for years, and YouTube's turning a blind eye, and they don't seem to really penalize them. They don't care. So that's constantly going on. And on the other side of the fence, you've got people on YouTube who are using Virool, who are complaining in forums saying like, hey, I just spent $20 on Virool. I got a few hundred views, but no sales, no subscribers, nothing happening. What a waste of money. Well, our intention for using Virool is not to live in this fantasy world that by spending $20 on Virool, you're going to have $100 in commissions land in your inbox. That's just not going to happen. This is wide open traffic. It's not laser targeted. And our purpose of using Virool is just to really put some air under the wings of our video. And I'm all about doing whatever I can and using services to a certain degree to safely put some air under the wings of my video in that 7-day launch process, just to get YouTube's attention, just to get momentum. So that's the reason we're using Virool. We're not using Virool to try to build our fan base or launch our latest music video or all that kind of stuff, okay? So anyway, here's how you set up your campaign. I'm going to show you some tricks that I've used here, and this will save you a lot of money because I burned through quite a bit of cash on Virool because I just didn't utilize it properly, okay? So I'm in one of my campaigns right here. I'm going to take you through this and show you exactly how to set things up. So a campaign name can be anything you want. I would obviously make sure it's the same title as your video. That's what I've used as a guideline. In terms of here, beside views, optimize my campaign for. Sometimes I use likes and comments. Sometimes I'll put in none. I do find you will get the odd like. Very rarely do I see a comment come in because people don't just spend the time to do that with Virool views. But hey, if I can get a handful of likes and a bonus comment, then what the heck, I'll take it, right? So go ahead and click on that. Moving down here, in terms of the targeting, what I do is I click on Let Me Choose, and I only select desktop and laptops. I find that when I click mobile, I do get more views, and you don't want that much views. You want to sort of keep the views on the low side without tripping any alarms on YouTube. I think that most videos get into trouble when they have like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 views in 24 hours. That's not natural, especially for new accounts, especially for accounts that don't have authority. And if YouTube sees that, I think there's sort of a kind of a tripwire internally that causes the bots to look at your video more closely and see exactly what's going on, if there's any shenanigans happening with fake views and that kind of thing. So we don't want that, right? So click on desktops. Also, I think that on mobile, watching videos and clicking on links and actually making decisions in terms of actions and purchases, I don't know if we're quite there yet. And also, I know that about a year ago or so ago, there were a lot of services on YouTube that were selling fake views, and they were somehow gaming the views where they were coming all from mobile devices. So if YouTube's seeing that a lot of your traffic is coming from mobile devices, I think that may not work in your favor, because most YouTube videos aren't getting a high volume of mobile traffic. That's just my instincts anyway. Okay, so just keep it desktops and laptops for now. On this side here, you want to use the active page placement, which means that your video is going to appear like on a page somewhere, like embedded on a page. It's not going to be, you know, like the whole page or something. So just like a blog post, it'll be embedded in a blog post. That's worked the best for me. Moving down here, I find that I will target United States initially. If the traffic is coming on too fast, I may remove the United States. I may put in some smaller countries like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. And what I do is I tend to just mix these up a little bit. I mean, it all depends on how fast the views are coming in. If they're coming in too fast, I'll remove the US and put in other countries. If they're not coming in fast enough, I'll keep in the US and I'll add other countries, like I said, Canada, and New Zealand, Australia, and of course, Britain, England, and that kind of thing. And in terms of the categories here, go ahead and choose the appropriate category. Again, this is just kind of wide open categories, but I find it does help a little bit in terms of just targeting that traffic to a certain degree. You put in your keywords here, you just type them in, 3 or more characters. You can use the same keywords as you're targeting on your YouTube video. That works out well. Or if you want to go wider, if you're focusing on GoDaddy hosting solutions, instead of putting in GoDaddy hosting, just put in web hosting or website hosting. It's just more of a generic audience, right? And a wider net you're casting. In terms of the gender, I usually put in all. This video here was actually targeting males, but usually I put in all. And again, if the traffic comes in too fast, go and click males or females, and that may just make the views come in less. Same with age. If you put in all, you may find the views come in too fast. So what I tend to do is if I go 14 to 17 or 55 to 64, there's probably less people watching your video on Virool who are in the 55 plus age bracket versus the 18 to 54, if that makes sense. And in terms of your budget and pricing, it's going to try and default you here to pay 8 to 10 cents per view. I never do that. I put in 5 cents. And they changed this actually about 4 months ago. It was 4 cents, and now it doesn't work anymore. They say you must put in 5 cents or more. By the time you're watching this video, it may be 6 cents. I don't know. But even then, you're paying 4 or 5 or 6 cents for a view. That's pretty cheap. Compared to other sources of getting views. And I don't really mess around with the schedule or the tracking, and that's about it. Click on the update campaign button, and when you do that, it's going to take you back to the main screen, and it'll show your campaign as running. So here are some campaigns I have here that are running, and you can see here that I've driven quite a bit of views here. One of these videos got 500 views, 338, 153, and most recently 62 views. So yes, I am using Virool. I've used them successfully for many, many, many months. And using those tips I just showed you in this video, you can get a nice steady trickle of views, especially in that first 7-day window, and really kind of kickstart your video and get it moving on YouTube. I'm going to pause the video now, and I'm going to come back with another resource you can use to get more views for your YouTube videos.